Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, consider subscribing because we talk a lot about the current events, the coming of the Mahdi, Dajjal, Ya'juj, and Ma'juj, end of time. So again, if you're new here, consider subscribing. Today's video, inshallah, will be talking about a very important development that is happening right now with India and China. It basically Indian Special Forces member killed in China border skirmish. Neither side has admitted to casualties, but report says soldier of Tibetan origin was killed during clash on Saturday. Okay, soldier of Tibetan origin. So this guy, his origin is from Tibet. A soldier of Tibetan origin with India's special forces has reportedly been killed in the latest border confrontation between India and China on their contested Himalayan border, fueling concerns of a wider military confrontation between the two regional powers. So, what we are saying, dear brothers and sisters, is that right now the situation reports claim one Tibetan soldier dead. Yes, so situation is getting really, really bad, and we are seeing escalation every now and then. Sometimes, वो क्या है ना कि sometimes they would find a one particular issue and then they will fight over it. I mean, China will push India. दूसरा समय आप देख सकते हैं कि India will or China will find another issue to deal and create some kind of like a tension between the two nations. I will be mentioning to you a very, very important hadith, and this is going to be Sunan Ibn Majah. This is a Hassan hadith. This hadith will tell you a lot more about the nature of the people in that region and how that is linked with the coming of the Dajjal. Okay, so we'll talk about the hadith in a bit, but let's talk a little bit more about this escalation. Basically, the death is the first reported from two incidents occurring within 48 hours on the border, 2 months after a battle that left at least 20 Indian soldiers, gone. India and China, which fought a border war in 1962, have each accused the other of trying to cross their unofficial frontier in the Ladakh region in an attempt to gain territory. And I mentioned this one actually before, that Ladakh is a place where we have seen that China was trying to build some kind of like a military presence. Obviously, they were pushed back by India and the whole world community. They supported India at the same time, saying that China should not be doing that. Now, nevertheless, they came back with now this incident of a special forces of Indian army being, slain. So tension, tension, tension all the time. It's not stopping anywhere. Subhanallah, dear brothers and sisters, the hadith that I'll share with you, inshallah, in a second, it will tell you more the nature of the fitan and the how dangerous these people can be in that region and how they will be easily deviated by the Dajjal. The Indian government has not commented on the reports of the death, but Namgail Dolkar Lagyeri, a member of the Tibetan parliament in exile, told AFP news agency on Tuesday that the Tibetan origin soldier was martyred during the clash on Saturday night. She did not identify the soldier by name. She said another member of the Special Frontier Force, which reportedly includes many ethnic Tibetans who oppose China's claim to their home region, was wounded in the operation. So it looks like the Tibet and the Indian forces, they are both involved in this skirmish with the Chinese military. China's foreign ministry, now this is what China is saying. China says that Hu Chaigang, the guy, he said on Wednesday that no Indian troops had died in the latest flare-up on their frontier. The world's two most populous countries have sent tens of thousands of troops and to the region since a brutal June 15th battle fought with wooden clubs and fists. SubhanAllah, they're already fighting. Can you believe it? India, China, they're already fighting. Like, it was not like using guns and machine gun, things like that, or fighter jet, but it was like a fist fight. So they are already, it sounds to me like kids fighting for their toys. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is dangerous. This is dangerous because Allah alam what will happen. But if there is something happen, if something happened to an Indian soldier or Chinese soldier, I'm not worried too much about Indian soldier because India can take it. India would not dare to touch China. Okay. um, आपको ये बुरा लग रहा होगा आप इंडिया से हैं, but the truth of the matter is that India would not ever dare to cross China's line. Okay, if India does that, China will just, you can imagine what will happen to India. The economy will collapse, and they will create a lot more problem for the Indian government, for the Indian people. They will create a lot of issues with Pakistan. What do you think Pakistan is getting their courage from? Is China. If China backs out, if China says, Pakistan, you take care of India, we are not with you, Pakistan will say to India, let's make a peace deal and never talk about fighting. Wallahi, because India has huge population, they have their military is huge, his number is huge. Yes, both of them have nuclear weapon, but they're not going to use it. Pakistan knows they cannot use it. India knows they cannot use it. And India, if they want to use it, they probably will. But Pakistan will never dare to do it, because where they're going to use it in India? Delhi, Mumbai is a huge country, man. It's a huge country. They can, damage or attack one city, but there are many other cities in India. But for India to go to Pakistan and drop one, it's not a big deal. It's just maybe Karachi, and if Karachi is gone, Pakistan is gone, because that's the Portland. And then you also have, I don't know a lot about Pakistan, but my main point here is that it will not take India too much of an effort to just get rid of Pakistan. But for Pakistan, it will take a lot of problem, and obviously the consequences will be there. Obviously, the Afghanistan is bordering with Pakistan, and there are Muslims. All of them are Muslims, so they are not going to sit back and watch what India will do. But the point here is that China is something that you must respect. Now, why China is doing this? Why China is bullying India now? It is because China's mentality, their attitude is that if you're not with me, then you are against me. Okay, simple, plain, copy and paste. Okay, the reason is because right now China is at a position where they need to make sure who is their friend and who is their foe. Okay, there is no middle ground. If they find some country they are not agreeing with them, and that country can pose a significant threat in China becoming a superpower, China is going to go after them, especially if that country is a good friend with the US, and India meets all these criteria. So China now have decided that it's time for us to make sure we are pushing India down so that they come to the table of negotiation, come to the table of peace, and they follow us what we tell them, because we are going to be the superpower very soon, and we need India to stop supporting US. Put it that way. So the hadith that I want to share with you, dear brothers and sisters, this is a Hassan hadith again. It talks about a group of people who will be coming from Khorasan, and they will support who? Dajjal. Dajjal will appear from a place Khorasan, and these people will support Dajjal. And this was reported by Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anh. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Anna Dajjal yakhruju min ardan bil mashriqi yuqalu laha Khorasan. Yatba'uhu aqwamun ka'anna wujuhahum al-majanul mutraqat." Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, this is the meaning of the hadith. Dajjal will emerge, okay, and Dajjalu yakhruju min aradan bil mashriqi yuqalu lahu Khurasan. It will come from it will emerge in a land in the east. And when we talk about east, we talk about India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, those countries. East, China, those countries. And then he said, called and that place called Khorasan. Today's Khorasan we consider to be the places like that region, Pakistan, Afghanistan, those regions. All right. So Dajjal will emerge from that region, Khorasan, and will be followed by people. Now, this is very important. Rasulullah is not only saying where he will be coming out from, but this hadith talks about even more, and this hadith clarifies how these people even look like, their face. Subhanallah, their face. And it says that their faces like hammered shield, flat, hammered shield, flat face. And if you take a look at the people, like who has nose that are flat, is the Chinese have nose that are flat. It is the Mongols, right? Is there are other tribes and nations who matches this description of the hadith. This is true. So the Prophet ﷺ said, this is one of the descriptions that I found from this hadith, that these people's face will be flat. And in another hadith, I'm not sure if this will be related with this hadith, and the other hadith, it says that those people, they have eyes that are very tiny, like small eyes. But I'm gonna have to find out that hadith too, so that I can inshallah match them. But this hadith, just simple. Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu said that the people will follow Dajjal from Khorasan when he will emerge from there, will be people with a flat nose, okay, hammered shield, faces like hammer shield. Also, we know that Yahud will follow him, Asfahan in Iran. They will follow him and they will give him ba'ya. But at the same time, people from that region, Khorasan, from the east, will also help the job. And we also know the black flag will be raised from the east, when the Mahdi will be here. So we're talking about a very different kind of situation now, because of the hadith. It talks about people from the same region. Some of them will help Mahdi. Hopefully, that will be the Indian, Pakistani Muslims, inshallah, Bangladeshi Muslims. But the Chinese people who do not believe in Allah Azza wa Jal, looks like these people will be supporting Dajjal and they will be ready for him. So you can imagine Dajjal will not only control the West, America, Canada, Europe, but he will also have followers from the East. And same thing with the Mahdi. He will have followers from the East and the West. People will join and gather under him. This is something we're talking about, a global phenomenon. Okay, we're not talking about just what will happen in Iraq, or so, say for example in Turkey. We're talking this paints a picture of a global phenomenon that will take place. Al Malhama, okay, Al Malhama. There will be a lot of fierce battles that will be taking place. And subhanallah, dear brothers and sisters, I mentioned to you about this Malhama. The Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned the nature of the Malhama, that 80 banners will be raised. Each banner will have 12,000 troops. I mentioned you that hadith too last night, I believe. So what we are seeing, again, going back to the main topic, China, what they're doing is very, very scary. But one thing that we can say for sure, without any doubt, is that what is coming ahead for India is not very pleasant, because China, they know that Pakistan will support them, because Saudi Arabia said, we are not going to support you, Pakistan, on your Kashmir issue with India. No, we're not going to support you. So Pakistan, really the last hope they have, really, to maintain any kind of control or power in that in the region of Kashmir, is through China. And China is willing to do that because it will benefit them in the long run when they are about to become the superpower. It also says provocative movements. Earlier, India's defense ministry said Chinese troops carried out provocative military movements to change the status quo at the border on Sunday. Yeah, of course. China wants India to change the status quo and submit to the Chinese officials. This is exactly what China wants. China wants to tell, China is telling you, India, we are the boss here. We are in power. We are in control. Follow us, and you have to. If you're not, then you will be in trouble. At the same time, India is angering China by siding with the US. Not directly, but indirectly. And we have seen how Trump came to India and Modi. They become very good friend. Howdy Modi. They, invited Modi to US, and they had this big gathering. People were cheering and shouting and doing victory cry, something like that. So just crazy. This is what is making China very angry. India's foreign ministry said on Tuesday that China had caused the latest incident, even as ground commanders of the two sides were in discussions to de-escalate the situation. Means China does not respect India at all. China, they do not respect India at all. They are talking. You can imagine these two nations are talking. Their military, their the army officials, they're talking and discussing how to de-escalate the situation. And in doing that, in the middle of that, they went out and they just started firing. It means you can come to the negotiation table, you can talk whatever you want, blah blah blah, because obviously this negotiation is not a good thing for China. China is not going to win anything out of this negotiation until China, until India submits to them. So China goes like, you know what? So what? You're talking to us. So what? We are going to go ahead and get rid of you. Due to timely defensive action, the Indian side was able to prevent these attempts from unilaterally altering the status quo. Oh, yeah, really? Yeah, you can prevent it for now, but not for too long. India, you cannot prevent it for too long. Now, right now, China is also saying to Australia that you guys are, I think they use the term poor white trash. Like, this is so derogatory. They're calling the Australian people poor white trash. Can you imagine how powerful they can become and how powerful they have been? That China dares to call Australians by name with almost like a racist connotation there. But China doesn't care. They can call out Australia. They can even go to US and tell them or threat them or scream or shout at them. They have no problem. They are so right now. China is building like crazy. It's a monster. They are making millions, billions, and trillions of dollars by exporting their products. Until that stops, nobody can stop China. It doesn't matter Australia. Australia has only few million population. I think same as Canada. These things, these countries, New Zealand, Australia, even UK, European countries, not a big deal right now for China. If they have good foothold in Africa, Asia, in South America, China is enough. That's enough for them for now. In the future, once they take over US, then automatically Australia, New Zealand, UK, European countries will come to China and be like, okay, so now you are the boss, so tell us what to do. In terms of economic, dealings, I'm not talking about, who will be ruling over who. Obviously, no country is ruling over any other country. It's just the, economic power, the, the money matter, which will be dominating the policy making, the relationships, and everything between countries. So China is going to and they have become the economic power. They have become the powerhouse, and they are now the second largest economy in the world. In fact, I personally believe that China has become the number one uh, economy in the world. The reason I believe that is because number one, their export import is huge. The country is huge. Okay, US has only how many people? They don't have as much people. I think 30 million something. And India and China has like 1 point right now, I think almost 2 billion people. Like they're like 5 times bigger than US, the population. If they buy, every one of them buy or spends $1, the whole country in itself can run its own economy. Like they don't even have to depend on anybody else. They are on their own is enough because of the sheer number of population. It's crazy. So dear brothers and sisters, what is coming for India is that they need to be very, very worried of what China is doing, and at the same time hope and pray that China does not go on a face-to-face confrontation with Delhi, and just hope and pray that Chinese president, he doesn't pick up the phone and call Modi and be like, we are coming, we are not gonna be friends anymore. You are with India, we are with the US, so good luck. That day is not too far. So again, something I want to share with you. And when you talk about Dajjal coming from the Khorasan, that part of the region, and people with hammered, shielded face, it to me it indicates people from that region, the Mongolians, the Chinese, and people like that. and this is going to be very, very dangerous. If Dajjal comes, and they will support him right away, they will not delay any moment. Again, if you're new to the channel, inshallah, like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. If you're new here, leave your comment, inshallah. I will read some of the comments. Yusuf, brother Yusuf, assalamu alaikum. Okay, India cannot fight China. Inshallah, I will see you soon again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.